Have you ever thought somebody was a very dear friend of yours and then you realized, no, they're not? Sometimes it's hard to know if somebody is a true friend or not. I think especially when you're younger, but really it's at all ages. It's hard to know when somebody is truly a friend, and when they're not your friend and you thought they were, it can be very, very disappointing. Today we're going to talk about three categories of friends, and then there's sort of a fourth. So let's talk about that. Thank you for being here. This is Aunt Sandy's Corner, and I am Aunt Sandy. The first category is your true friends. Your true friends that sometimes you've had for many years, many, many years, and sometimes they can be newer, but they truly, truly care about you. They're not just always thinking about themselves. They're not trying to manipulate you to make sure that they get the best out of you. And those are the treasures, the true, true treasures that we have in our lives. I have a friend from that I met in middle school. We became best friends in high school. And I'm kind of old. So we've been best friends forever. And a friend from college that I met, and we've been best friends forever. And the making of a true, true friend is when, as the Catholic Church says, to love is to will the good of another. Whenever you want what is best for them, you don't think of how can they help me? How can they benefit me? You love them. You want to hear about their worries, their concerns, their celebrations, and they want the same for you. You don't have to talk to them all the time. People are so busy, and they're my friends, even though, well, and they're not the only two. I mean, I have another dear, dear friend that we work together. So I met her maybe 8 years ago or something like that. And none of us live close to each other, and we do not talk often. But whenever we need each other, we're there. If I need them, they're there. If they need me, I'm definitely there too, at least just to talk. At least just to talk, to listen, to listen. I'm so, so blessed with dear, dear friends. There's another friend that lives out of state, but we grew up together. We were in school together. We're always there for each other also. We text kind of often. She's really good about texting. And so just being loving is to want the good for the other. Okay? So those are your true friends. If you have friends that you get suspicious, you're thinking, wait a minute, is that really what I want to do? Or am I being manipulated? Am I being pressured? Those are the third category. So, another category, the second one, is seasonal friends. Those can be really beautiful friends, and they might be angels that God has put in your life. You know, they can be just really beautiful, beautiful, but you met them at work. I met somebody at physical therapy, and we had the same schedule, and we just chatted away. We had such a good time with each other. I look forward to seeing her. We would hug and everything. We did exchange numbers. I'm hoping we will talk, but that could be a seasonal friend. People from, um, or a friend for a season. People that you work with, people that you meet at church. It could be temporary, and those are beautiful. Those are blessings. They can be, right? If they're really good friends, if they're true, if they're true, that they want the good for you and you want the good for them. And when you see each other, you're happy. But, they're for a season. God may have intentions for them or for you to help them. Whoops. For you to help them or them to help you in some way. In some way. You never know. And we need to be open to what God is wanting us to do for other people. Isn't that beautiful that we can be there for other people? I think that that is so amazing and it makes you feel so good. So, those friends that are seasonal, that are for a season. Okay, the other ones that are not fun to talk about, the ones that were there that were not really truly your friends. I have had experiences from when I was younger and older. And then it just kind of blows you away. You're like, what? You can feel betrayed, you feel used. It's just, I think it's important to know and to always be aware that just because you like somebody, you think that and these are like girlfriends, right? These are just friends. You think, oh, they're fun, they're so sweet. I like the words they say, right? This one of them was like so Christian and always talked about God, but I felt so manipulated by her. Um, but one of them, when I was younger, I was a single mom, and I had a friend. She was younger than me, and all of her friends left to go to college in another state. Okay, they went away to college, and she and I were going to school together. We became very good friends, I thought. So we would hang out. She would go visit me all the time. She still lived with her mom. I lived alone with my daughter, and I thought that we were the best of friends. And then um, her friends came back. Her real friends came back. They came back, and then one day she came to work because we also worked together. We went to school together, worked together, lived really close to each other, and um, well, to school as into college. We went to college together, community college. And then she comes to work one day all super sunburned. She was so sunburned. And I said, "What happened? Oh my gosh." And she says, "Yeah, I went swimming with my friends and boy, I fell asleep or something, whatever. For whatever reason, she got real burned." And I said, "Really? Where did y'all go?" And they went to the swimming pool at my apartment complex. My apartment complex. I said, "Y'all were there? Nobody lived there but me." I said, "Y'all were there? Why didn't you tell me?" "Oh, I didn't know if you were home." And I, at that time, drove this big red car that I know she would have known if I was home. But she didn't care. But she went to use my pool. I hate to say that I was very happy that she was sunburned. But I guess I was her friend for a season. But I didn't know it was just for a season. It's Maybe I should have seen signs from before. I don't know. But we were good friends while they were gone, but not good friends when they came back. That really broke my heart. It made me feel bad. I wish I'd have known. So from then on, we just didn't see each other or anything. I didn't. Anyway, let me know what you think about that. Would you have felt betrayed? Or is it just me? Is it just me? I really would like to hear what y'all have to say about that. And then, so then many years later in my career um as a teacher, I worked with somebody that I felt she was just so precious, so sweet. And then I started getting a feeling like everything seems to be to her benefit. I started feeling that. And like what she wants, she would always try to convince me to do what she wanted, to do what she wanted, and do it. And and even if I didn't want to do it, even if I didn't agree with it. And then there was an opportunity for us to go to school together, further our education. And then, like, there were all these promises. And I thought, no, I don't trust her. I'm glad I finally figured out, no, I don't trust her. I don't trust that what she's saying is really going to happen. To will the good of another, I didn't feel that was going to happen. It's just so important to identify, do they will the good of us or not? Or are we temporary? Or are we there for their benefit? Are we there just for them to have somebody to talk to? It's hard. It can be hard for adults and for young adults. Boy, for young adults, I wouldn't want to be one. I made so many mistakes and went through so much as a young adult. Everybody does. Your judgment is not sharp yet. You don't have the wisdom, the experience. And that's one of the reasons. I'm so sorry. I hope you hear me okay. Um, that is one of the main reasons I wanted to create this channel, is that some people don't have people to get advice from, to talk to. I'm not a counselor. I am a 57-year-old that's gone through a lot. I've been married, divorced, raising a daughter on my own. I've gone through a lot, and I just think so many times in my life I have thought, boy, I sure do wish somebody would have told me. I wish somebody would have told me. That's what I want to be, is somebody to tell you, and or yeah, to tell you, and for it to be Christ centered. If you have Christ in the center of your life, you're golden. Just do what you're supposed to do. So those are the three categories, but there is another category that I came up with after thinking about all of this, and I thought it was worthy of talking about. Okay, so when I was in middle school, sixth grade, I made a friend that, okay, that was a very early 80s. It was a very early 80s because I started high school in 83. So it was around 81, 82. And um, in those days, we were not very well supervised as teenagers. We weren't. I don't, and I've seen a lot of YouTube videos that that confirms that. So it wasn't just me. I thought it was just me and my circle of friends. But the friend that I hung out with the most at that time, God rest her soul, she has passed, and her family was just too, or her mom would just do so much for us, and I would spend the night at her house all the time. My parents were very trusting. I'm from a big family, so I would imagine it was okay. That's one less to take care of. Another adult can take care of her, but we weren't really being taken care of. We were doing whatever we wanted. So I really didn't do anything wrong before that. And then I hung out with her, and she was a very bad influence on me. She was a very bad influence on me. And it wasn't her fault, really. It was her upbringing, I guess. We didn't have enough supervision. And then, but she was not a bad person at all. It was just, uh, she wasn't good for me, though. She was not good for me. I was making a lot of mistakes by hanging out with her. So I guess this is really for the younger people, but really older people can make these mistakes too. If you let yourself be influenced by other people. But I became one of those people too. I learned from her. In the end, I was a teenager and I was making really bad mistakes, actually. I was a good girl. I was very responsible and everything, but I was acting like a teenager, and then I became a bad example, I think. Sometimes I'm ashamed at the thought. I mean, I was drinking a lot. I was drinking and driving. I'm so blessed that nothing ever happened. There were no accidents or anything. But I was actually, I would say, a bad example for my friend that is still a dear best friend. And I'm glad that we survived that together. But anyway, so I was thinking, well, I wasn't a good friend. I was a bad example. But thank God we still love each other. We're still best friends. Oh my gosh. So that's sort of another category that we need to be careful with, you know, being led the wrong way. We need to be wise. We need to follow God's example, God's commandments, and that is the main thing I want to say is, so when you recognize that someone is not a true friend, you don't need to hate them, dislike them, or anything. I think just separate from them and pray for them. pray for them, because it doesn't mean, maybe they're not bad people. They're just not good for you. Maybe they're not good for you, but they do need to be prayed for. You know, just accept the reality and move on and enjoy your true friends. So scripture teaches us that who we walk with matters. Scripture teaches us. Scripture teaches us that who we walk with matters. Bad company corrupts good character. That's in 1 Corinthians 15:33. So the main thing is to just grow in wisdom and learn and make better decisions. Learn for the future and always know, do they will the good of you or not? Do you will the good of them? Don't be a bad friend. For heaven's sake, be close to God and be a good friend. If you can't be a good friend to somebody, oh my goodness, that's a good thing to talk about. If you can't be a good friend to them, okay, somebody comes to my mind that has a very difficult personality, that is difficult to be good friends with. I do my best to just be kind. You don't have to be close to everybody, but be kind, okay? There are people that I don't know if they're good for you or not, but you can clash with. If you clash with them, just be kind. Just be kind. You don't have to be ugly. I'm not saying that you would be ugly, but I mean, sometimes you want to be ugly. Sometimes their personality just really clashes with you, and it's hard to be kind. But just be kind, or, I mean, just smile. You don't have to hang out with them. Don't hang out with them. And I would really, really love to know if you have any stories of where you felt betrayed, or just any kind of stories, great stories or very sad stories. So I am so, so glad that you came to spend time with me today. I have been away for a little bit and I am back. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you again at Aunt Sandy's Corner very soon. You take care. God bless. I wanted to tell y'all, this is just for funsies, that I am planning my retirement. I am a teacher, and next week is the last week of school, and I'm so excited. So I will be able to be more consistent creating my videos, and I am going to have so much fun with them. I really enjoy them. To be honest, I get a little stressed out when I'm starting it, like camera shy or something. But then when I get into the subject, I have a lot of fun. So I hope that you enjoy my videos, and I really look forward to the future of Aunt Sandy's Corner. I want to be here for you. I want to see what God has planned for me and for Aunt Sandy's Corner. So you have an awesome, blessed day. God bless.